All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to explore a really powerful idea, a philosophy for anyone out there who feels totally stretched thin, overworked, but underutilized. It's a concept called essentialism, and it's all about how to regain control by focusing only on what truly, truly matters. So let me start with a question, and I bet this is going to sound familiar to a lot of you. Have you ever had one of those days you're just in motion from morning till night, jumping from task to task, answering emails, putting out fires? But when your head hits the pillow, you're left with this nagging feeling. Did I actually accomplish anything that mattered today? And this right here is the perfect picture of that feeling. All your energy is scattered, just going out in a million different directions. You're trying to do everything for everyone. And what's the result? You make a tiny millimeter of progress on a million things. It's unsatisfying, it's exhausting, and it's the core of what the author McKeown calls the non-essentialist trap. So what is this trap, really? Well, think of it as our default setting. It's this reactive way of living and working that just kind of creeps up on us until one day we wake up and realize we're completely overwhelmed. This is what it feels like when you're caught in it. You're just constantly reacting to whatever's loudest, to other people's priorities, not your own. You say yes to things without even thinking, maybe to please someone or just to avoid a difficult conversation. The book tells the story of an executive, Sam Elliott, who was majoring in minor activities. He was so busy trying to be a good corporate citizen, saying yes to everything, that the actual quality of his most important work just plummeted, and he felt totally unsatisfied. That is the classic non-essentialist experience.
And this quote, man, it just gets to the heart of the matter. If you live your life by default, you're essentially handing over the keys to someone else. You're letting their agendas run your life. The author learned this in the most brutal way possible. He actually left his wife in the hospital just hours after their daughter was born to go to a client meeting, a meeting he felt pressure to attend. And guess what? Nothing important even happened at the meeting. It was in that moment he realized that by trying to please everyone, he had sacrificed the one thing that was truly essential.
But here's the good news. There is a way out. It's a deliberate choice, a disciplined, and ultimately way more powerful way of operating. And that is the way of the essentialist.
And this is where it all kind of clicks into place for me. Look at the difference here. The non-essentialist is stuck in this undisciplined pursuit of more. More projects, more meetings, more stuff. But the essentialist, they operate from a place of real power, the disciplined pursuit of less. So let's be super clear about what essentialism really is. It's not just about doing less for the sake of doing less. It's about making the absolute wisest investment of your time and your energy. The whole mantra is simple, but it is revolutionary. Less, but better. It's like having a filter for your life that helps you separate the vital few things from the trivial many, so you can pour your energy into where you can make your greatest contribution. But to get there, you can't just change what you do. You have to fundamentally change how you think. Essentialism is really built on 3 core mindset shifts that challenge the very assumptions that keep us trapped in the first place. Okay, this first one is huge. It's about shifting your internal monologue from I have to I choose to. The non-essentialist feels like a victim, I have to go to this meeting, I have to answer this email. But the essentialist knows that even when their options feel limited, the power to choose how to respond can never be taken away. It's all about reclaiming your own agency. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Choice isn't something someone gives you. It's an internal power you already have. The problem is, we forget. We fall into what some psychologists call learned helplessness, and we just forget that we have the ability to choose. So the very first step of essentialism is to remember that power. The second mindset shift is this, realizing that almost everything is just noise. The non-essentialist is completely overwhelmed because they operate under the false belief that every task, every opportunity is equally important. The essentialist, on the other hand, knows that's not true. They know that only a very few things are exceptionally valuable, and their whole job is to figure out what those vital few are. And this isn't just some feel-good idea, by the way. It's a proven principle. You might have heard of it as the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. Basically, it says that for many things, roughly 80% of the results come from just 20% of the effort. The essentialist's job is to find that critical 20% and focus all their energy there. That is the key to unlocking massive impact. And the final piece of the mindset puzzle? Embracing a hard truth. You can't do it all. You just can't. A non-essentialist is always trying to figure out, how can I do both? How can I have it all? An essentialist asks a much smarter, more strategic question. Which problem do I want? They understand that every single time you say yes to something, you are, by definition, saying no to a bunch of other things. They just make those trade-offs consciously and deliberately. Okay, so you've got the mindset down, but how do you actually, do it? How do you put this into practice every single day? Well, it all builds into a simple, repeatable system. The book uses this fantastic analogy. Think about your life like a closet. If you never clean it out, what happens? It gets stuffed with junk, with clothes you haven't worn in years, with things you don't even like anymore. Well, our lives are the same. They get cluttered with commitments and activities we've outgrown. Essentialism is the system for regularly cleaning out that closet, so only the things that are truly valuable and that you absolutely love get to stay.
And here is that system. It's a cycle that you just repeat over and over. First, you explore all your options so you can figure out what is truly essential. Then, and this is the hard part, you have the courage to eliminate everything else. That means saying no, even to some good opportunities. And finally, you build systems to execute on the essential things, making it as smooth and effortless as possible.
Which really brings us to the ultimate question, right? Why does any of this matter? Because this goes so much deeper than just productivity hacks or time management. This is about designing a life that feels true to you.
The author ends his introduction with this absolutely profound quote from the poet Mary Oliver, and it just stops you in your tracks. It forces you to confront the reality that our time here is finite. We only get one shot. Are we spending it on what is essential, or are we letting it get swallowed up by all the trivial noise? So, I'll leave you with that question to think about. After everything we've talked about, the trap of being busy but not productive, the incredible power of choice, the reality of trade-offs, what is the one essential thing you will focus on? What change are you going to make, starting today, to pursue less but better?